Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Passions Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the soap opera passions. I am your regular host, LeTara, back today with Karen, our legal eagle, and a new guest host, Acacia. Oh my God, that was so loud. So loud, I have to turn it down. But welcome back, Karen.
Thank you.
And Acacia, welcome for the first time. How you feeling?
Thank you. I'm excited.
We're excited to have you here. We're very excited to have some fresh blood, from me. No, honestly, it's always nice to get new people in to talk about the show and give their perspectives. Because sometimes people, for instance, when Maria came on for the first time, she really started to shift my perspective on some things a little bit. So sometimes it's nice to hear some people come in and say, actually, you're wrong about this. So not that I think you're going to say I'm wrong, because I'm rarely am I wrong, but
Right.
But yes, Acacia, we're very happy to have you. Y'all, I'm sorry, I'm a little rusty. It feels like it's been a million years since I did this. It hasn't been that long, but now I'm trying to remember how do I do things? Okay, so we are talking about episodes 891 through 895 this week. Yes. Thank the Lord. Okay, we all watched the same episodes. I finished them 20 minutes ago. I finished the last episode, literally. I was pounding some soup and finishing the last little bit of the episode. So, this week was interesting. I'm hoping that we have enough to stretch into 2 episodes. I feel like it wasn't boring, but there was a ton of recap. There was a lot of we've had these conversations before. But there was definitely some interesting things going on. Mainly Sheridan is just being so pathetic, and I hate that for her. I hate it for her. I hate it. So, before we get into the episodes, I want to give a shout out to all the patrons over on Patreon. Thank you to Munashe, Lisa S, Zach, Sid, Sarana, Randall, Hannah, Camelia, Jeanette, Eric, Jamie, Fantasia, Sean S, Larissa, Maria, Lisa A, Jessica Jean, Laura, Karen, Uche, Paige, Casey, Garange, Tom Bergeron, Stephen, and I have to say Stephen Winthrop, Daisy, Shane, Kelly C, Taylor Harris Crane, DJ Kelly M, Lisa R, Acacia, Natalie, Andrew, Jekyll, hi, Jekyll, and MB. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for being patrons and being, hanging in there with me. I had said I was going to send out holiday gifts, which I still am. Y'all just might get them after the holidays. I'm hoping that they will make it to you at least by Christmas. I'm going to try and send everything out this week. Obviously, by the time this comes out, you will have gotten them, I think. I hope. That is my hope. I believe that this episode's going to come out on Christmas Eve or New Year's. It's either the week of Christmas or the week after, but so either Merry Christmas or Happy New Year.
I have a birthday in between there, so happy birthday.
When's your birthday?
27th. So,
oh my gosh.
27th of December. That makes you a Capricorn?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a Scorpio, but I'm a Capricorn rising and a Capricorn moon. So,
okay, nice.
So a little bit. Okay. So, that's business. Acacia, since you are new here, you now have to tell us, what is your Passions origin story?
Yeah. Okay. So I started watching Passions when I was 13. So it was 2004. So I was just flipping channels one summer, and I stopped on, it was Chad and Whitney, and I think they were making out or something like that. And I was like, what is this show? Actually, I had never seen Brooke Kerr or Whitney in anything. Well, I had seen her in not reoccurring, but on the Steve Harvey show and things like that. And I always thought she was so pretty. And was who is this actress? And so seeing her on something else regularly, I thought was really cool. So I watched the rest of that episode. And of course, I fell in love with Teresa and Ethan Gwen's story. And that just pulled me in. I was at 2:00, I got to record this. every day. So it was like one of my stories. Because my mom, she's like a big soap opera watcher too. So I always watch soaps with her. So it's like, oh, this is my thing. Like, this is my soaps. So,
I love that.
So yes, I just like loved Ethan and Teresa and Gwen and their storyline, and it just everything else. I loved Passions in general, but they just really pulled me in. So
yeah, I think I similarly, like I've said multiple times that I also used to watch I used to specifically watch Days of Our Lives with my mom. And then Passions came on afterwards. But my mom never really watched Passions. But yeah, it was like Days of Our Lives was like our little secret thing we kind of did together. So I love that that's kind of your story too. What other soaps did your mom watch? What other soaps did you watch with her?
she watched One Life to Live and All My Children. So I loved All My Children. Erica Kane, the best. And then when SoapNet was a thing, like she would just watch, like she watched like Dallas and like Falcon Crest and like Dynasty. I mean, all of the old soaps too that would come on like SoapNet. So we would like stay up, if I was like sick or something, and we'd be watching like Falcon Crest.
Nice. Which Dana Sparks was in Falcon Crest. I can't remember who she played, but yes, Dana Sparks was in Falcon Crest. I can't remember who she played. Anyway, hopefully a better character than Grace. Grace is also on my shit list, but she's been on my shit list for a while.
Me too.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing, Acacia. Love your story. Love that it's parallel to mine. So, or similar. So, all right, we're going to get into these. Oh, Lord, we're going to get into these stories. What's going on with all these characters, our problematic favorites in Harmony. So we're going to start with the Shuis storyline. I can't give y'all Bloom Bloom music this week. Can't do it. Couldn't possibly do it. I don't know. I don't know what good sound to do for this. I guess.
Yes, that's the one I was going to suggest.
I guess that works. I'm sick of this. Oh my God, Sheridan. You are Sheridan Crane, for God's sake. You can fly a plane. You speak multiple languages. Doesn't she do like jujitsu or something? Like, she is an incredible woman. You can't say no to this man and say like, no, I'm not gonna marry you. Okay, wait. You have to wait for a man on a white horse. Her stupid ass, like daydream that she had in the church. I'm pretty sure I lost like 5 years off my life because of how angry I was when it happened. So let's talk about it. I was like, God damn it, Sheridan, please stand up. Stand up. So, Shuis, well, we pick up with Julian. Julian has a conversation with Alistair there on the phone, and he's gloating about the fact that they have basically succeeded in tearing Sheridan and Luis apart, and that Antonio isn't well enough to bother with trying to dig up anything on the Cranes, and he'll be dead soon anyways. Yeah, so Julian is having a conversation with Alistair. They're thrilled that they have like succeeded in this stupid scheme to keep Luis out of their family, which is so funny that they even brought it back up. It's been so long since it was ever mentioned. But I am glad, because I think the reason that they brought it back up is because I think other characters are coming back soon-ish. And so they're like, oh yeah, remember there's this whole thing about Luis's dad, like that we really don't want him to know about. So
they gave a little explainer too, because before we had talked about, okay, well, why are Alistair and Julian okay with Sheridan marrying Antonio, but not Luis? And they explained that a little bit, that they're afraid Luis is going to get his hands on the family secrets if he marries Sheridan, but Antonio will die from his illness before he can look into the Cranes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a dead man.
Whatever.
Fine by me. Fine by me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good riddance.
Whatever. So over at the church, everybody's starting to kind of arrive at the church. We learn that Teresa is Beth's matron of honor, which, I mean, of course Beth doesn't have any friends. It's weird. I still am like, I know Beth is crazy, and she only gets crazier in these episodes. God, oh my God, she gets so crazy. But God, I do feel bad for her. I feel bad for her. So Teresa is her matron of honor for whatever reason. I guess because she doesn't have any friends. Liz also shows up and she talks to Antonio and she gives Antonio her best and blah blah blah. I didn't write down that conversation. Do either of you care about it?
Liz is new to me, so no.
Oh. Right, because Acacia. So, Acacia, you're where are you in your rewatch right now?
5:11. So I haven't even gotten to Ethan and Teresa. I still have original Ethan, and I have original Ethan and replace second Gwen. So I haven't even gotten to Teresa and Ethan's wedding yet. It's like the rehearsal dinner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. So I'm like, Liz, like I said, I started watching in 2004, so I do know who she is from that time period when I watched when I was 13, but I never saw how she entered into the show.
Yeah, okay.
So I still don't know how she entered.
Liz is the woman who owned the resort that Sheridan was in, like staying in with Antonio when she got amnesia. Okay. And so in Bermuda. So that's how she factors into all of this. And of course she's Eve's long lost sister. So, but that's how she knows Antonio. And allegedly they were in a relationship wherein she ruined the relationship, but that's not true. They were in a relationship where he ruined the relationship, but Passions decided to rewrite that. And I will not forget it. So meanwhile, okay, everybody's starting to get to the church. You know, there's excitement buzzing around for this wedding, for this ill-fated, stupid-ass double wedding. Gwen is talking to Sheridan, and she counsels her to go to Luis and make sure that he wants to marry Beth. And Sheridan is just like completely given up. She's like, no, he's made his choice. I was just with Luis. If he didn't want to marry Beth tonight, he would have said something. Also, it's New Year's Eve. And I think I've said this before, but the fact that these people are having their weddings on these large, giant holidays really irritates me. Like, it's New Year's Eve night. If you're going to have a wedding on New Year's Eve, have it in the morning. Other people have other things to do on their own New Year's Eve parties that they want to go to. They don't want to be at your wedding, your sad wedding, frankly.
And it got like postponed. Like, you're sitting there waiting around. Like, I could do something else.
I would have gone home, to be honest. Mm-hmm. No, actually, that's a lie. That the gossip was too heavy and too juicy in there. Like, I wouldn't have gone home. Because everybody in there knows that Sheridan loves Luis and Luis loves Sheridan, and Antonio has no clue, but Beth does. No, actually, the gossip is too juicy for me to leave. I definitely would have stayed. I would have been annoyed, but I definitely would have stayed. But yeah, so Sheridan's just like such a sad sack, Debbie Downer. She's like, no, if Luis wanted to marry me, he would have come like yesterday, and he's made his choice. He wants to marry Beth. And okay, Gwen says to her the exact same thing I thought, which was, what is wrong with you? She says, what's wrong with you? You are about to make the most important step of your entire life, and you're not going to do everything in your power to make sure you marry the right man? What do you have to lose by going to Luis one more time and telling him how you feel? It could change everything. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Gwen. That is so loud. Am I crazy, or is that crazy loud? Are those loud to y'all? No? Okay.
No.
Maybe it's just my volume's up loud. Okay.
Gwen's advice is very solid. All of that.
She was a good friend here. She was a good for Gwen.
As I've said before, when it's not the Teresa, Ethan, Gwen triangle situation, I like the person that Gwen is. Like, she makes sense. She is a smart woman. I've always said that Gwen was a smart woman. She's just a fool for Ethan. She's not dumb. She's just a fool for Ethan. And yeah, I like this. This was very strong friendship advice. So Sheridan tells her, you know what, you're right. I have to tell him. I've got to do everything I can to put a stop to this wedding. Oh my God. Please put a pin in that. Remember that she said that. I've got to do everything I can to put a stop to this wedding. You don't have to do anything, Sheridan. You could literally just say no wedding because you're the person getting married. There will be no wedding because I don't want to have a wedding today. I don't want to get married. It's really that simple. She was stressing me out. Yeah, you don't have to get married, Sheridan. You don't have to get why? And again, it's not necessarily like, obviously it's not like the character's fault. It's the writing. It is the writing, but I don't understand why they wrote it like this. And I keep trying to come up with some like, oh, I don't know. Why would they write it like this? It's so stupid. And it goes on for so long, right? Like we've been doing this for a while with Sheridan and Luis, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now we're finally at the wedding day. Sheridan has decided that she doesn't want to get married. Before it was like, well, Antonio might die. I have to do this because Antonio might die. I have to do this because Antonio might die. Now it's, I have to do everything I can to put a stop to this wedding. If that's how it is, Sheridan, then just stop the fucking wedding. I despise this. I despise it. So yeah. Anything to add before I go on? No.
I hate all the back and forth about this that's been going on for months. I hate how they can't make a decision. I hate how they're letting themselves, Louisa and Sheridan, how they're letting themselves get near to marrying people they don't love, or at least that they don't love as much as they love each other. And they just act like it's what they have to do, like it's an obligation. No, that's not not the reason to enter into a marriage.
Yeah, and not only that, I think what really to like stick with what you're saying, I think what really like sticks in my craw is that they make such a big deal about this commitment. This is such an important commitment. And once I'm married for life. And this is, I'm going to take vows before God and in front of everybody. And I'm going to stick to my vows. And getting married is such a big commitment. Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm okay with that line of reasoning. But by that same line of reasoning, would you just get married to any goddamn body?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you think marriage is so important that you would marry somebody that you don't want to marry?
Yeah.
I hate it. I really hate it. So Beth overhears this. Oh my God, Beth. Beth overhears this conversation between Gwen and Sheridan, and she comes in, and obviously she lies. She comes in and she's like, oh, Sheridan, oh my goodness, I had such a wonderful night last night with Luis. And Sheridan's like, last night? When? Because reminder to everyone, last night Sheridan and Luis had sex, and then they were going to elope with one another, but Luis never showed up to the courthouse because Beth drugged him and he fell asleep and he was knocked out. So he didn't make it to the courthouse. So in Sheridan's mind, she believes that he just never showed up because he chose Beth. And now Beth is reinforcing that idea by saying, yeah, me and Luis had the most beautiful night together. I know we weren't supposed to see each other before the wedding and it's bad luck, but he just couldn't wait to surprise me and we had such a romantic night. So because Beth is saying that to her, which I'm going to be real, I can't 100% fault Sheridan for that. Like at that point, right? Like if Beth comes in and according to Sheridan, Beth doesn't have a mean bone in her body, right? She's a wonderful, nice, beautiful lady. If she comes in and she starts saying that, then it's like, oh man, I guess I was wrong. I guess I do need to marry Antonio. On Sheridan, to Sheridan's defense, because I have been on her a little bit, but in her defense, slightly, and only slightly, if she doesn't marry Antonio today, he might die. So she still has that in the back of her mind, I guess. I will give her that. But you don't want to, and you were going to marry his brother last night. That would have killed him. That would have killed him. So I feel like this is even less of a shock of like, you know what? I don't want to get married today. But whatever. She feels like she just has to go through with this wedding. So anyway, yeah, Beth comes in. She tells that little lie, and Sheridan's like, okay, I guess I have to marry. I guess I have to marry Antonio now. Meanwhile, Hank and Luis are having a nearly identical conversation to the one that Sheridan and Gwen were having, where Hank is telling him, like, are you sure about this? You sure you want to marry Beth? Which is funny that that's coming from Hank. It's interesting because Hank does this and Eve does it later as well. And Eve is like, that one is very egregious for many, many reasons. But the Hank one is kind of bad too, because he was the one that was pushing Luis and Beth together for a while. He was like pushing them together while Sheridan was dead, when we thought she was dead. But still, he kind of orchestrated this. So I don't know, the fact that he's only speaking up now, saying like, are you sure about this? Maybe you should have said something a little while back. I feel like Hank has been more so, which everybody has been like, oh, well, but your brother might die. Are you sure you want to do that? Your brother might die. And now all of a sudden it's the wedding day and everybody's like, you need to follow your heart. It's like, y'all could have given me this support months ago. And so they have a nearly identical conversation, except Luis insists that Sheridan made her decision. And he's like, and I love Beth enough. I love her enough. He doesn't say that exactly, but that is the sentiment. It's like, and yeah, I love Beth. She's great. She is A-okay in my book. So
he says something along the lines of he doesn't want to pressure Sheridan by asking why she never came to the Justice of the Peace last night. Dude, you were hours late. I know it was because Beth drugged you, but you're acting like she wasn't there. You weren't there either. She actually was there waiting for your ass, and then you showed up late and she left already.
In his defense, the clerk told him Sheridan never showed up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sheridan told the clerk, nobody can ever know that I was here. So if anybody ever comes asking about it, and I, again, raged about it last week or in the last episode's podcast. If anybody ever comes asking about me, I was never here. But the only person who would ever come to that specific judge's office asking about Sheridan if she was there that night is Luis. He's the only person who would have done that. And so it's asinine. It's bad writing, frankly. They jumped through hoops to get these two people married, Antonio and Sheridan. So, yeah, Luis, he thinks she never went to that. He basically thinks that she backed out again. And when he says that, because he does say that at one point, he's like, yeah, so I guess she just backed out again. It's happened before. Which is true. Multiple times she's been like, I'm ready to tell him. I'm going to tell him. Let's tell him together. We can do this. And then she changes her mind because Antonio has one of his stupid fucking fits. And she's like, oh, but he might die. And I don't want to be the reason that he dies. And so we never do it. And so Luis thinks that this is just another instance wherein she said one thing but did another. And so while as a viewer, it is very frustrating because we have all of the information, and it is also very frustrating because it wouldn't be hard for them to have all of the information either. Like, truly, one of them just has to say something. Like, hey, I think, let me see, who do y'all think should be the one, is the one that is, the onus is on more so to say something? Is it Sheridan or is it Luis? I think it's Luis. because he just never showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's Luis because he overslept. And yes, he went, but he didn't hear it from the horse's mouth. Sheridan was there all night and he never showed up. So I feel like it makes more sense for her to feel like, oh, he just stood me up because he quite literally did, versus Luis, who he heard it from this lady, but maybe she was wrong. Maybe she didn't know. Right? Check your source. But alas, they will. Oh my God, they're gonna continue doing this dumb shit for so. Oh, I'm so sick of this. Actually, you know what? Now we get into the wedding. I have the longest clip of. I took like all of this wedding, all of this wedding, y'all. So, what we'll do is we'll kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? We'll kind of like, react. So it'll be like starting and stopping. We won't watch it all the way through without talking. We can like stop it. So if at any point you're like, hey, I got something to say about that, you just stop me and tell me.
Was it silent in the video you guys were watching when they were walking down the aisle?
Yeah, I actually ended up going into my personal stash. There were several times this week where the sound was cut out, but it wasn't cut out on the ones I have in like my drive. So, because I it's easier for me to just watch them on YouTube. But yeah, the sound wasn't in it. I guess for the music, for some of these. But I think I got the clips with sound. There's one that I did without because I knew that it would get a copyright ding. So I was like, oh yeah, let me not do that. They should have done something with her hair.
Edna.
No. And the way Luis looks at her, he's just like, yeah, this is fine.
The meme of that dog sitting in flames, like, this is fine.
Yeah, exactly. Here comes Sheridan down the aisle.
She looks like she's walking to a funeral.
Yeah, well, she basically is.
Right. Antonio.
Yeah, Antonio.
What is Luis doing?
Oh yeah, Luis like pulled his arm away from Beth.
He still loves Sheridan. I don't think he's gonna go through with marrying Beth.
Doesn't Sheridan look radiant? Must be because she's so happy. So in love with your brother. You know, when we were in the bride's room getting dressed, she told me the most romantic story about her and Antonio last night.
Last night?
Uh-huh. She went on and on about how sure she is about becoming his wife and how she's grown to love him so much.
What are you waiting for? Put a stop to this. No. Sheridan made her choice. She's gonna marry Antonio.
God, Beth's hair is so bad. Okay, we'll stop there for a moment and talk about this. One, Beth's hair is so bad. It looks worse than usual, which is crazy. It's her wedding day. They couldn't have done a little bit better with her hair. Two, Hank is whispering in, what's his name, Luis's ear, saying like, oh, you need to put a stop to this. I mean, Beth is right there. And so is Antonio. I don't know. Just the guts on that one. But yeah, this wedding, Luis looks like he is unhappy. Sheridan looks so sad. Sheridan looks so sad. I don't think I saw her smile once. So yeah. Anything to add before we go on to the next, I don't know, however many minutes I have of this. I have so many minutes, 12 more minutes of this.
No, but I think Sheridan looks so good. Other than the fact that she's not smiling and she looks so sad. Her dress is beautiful. Her hair is beautiful.
I don't like her dress. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. No. I don't know if that episode's out yet, but I actually talked about that dress because I didn't like the bodice on it was like too long and it didn't have any sparkle. It was just very plain. I guess it makes sense for her having this wedding that she doesn't want to have, but Beth's dress is prettier, which I
do like Beth's dress too.
Yeah, Beth's dress is prettier. And I think Beth made it herself, and that's another thing. You know what? Yes, Beth is like whispering in Luis's ear, lying to him, talking about, oh yeah, she was so happy about being with Antonio last night. But you know what? It's crazy to say, but I'm on Beth's side. I'm on Beth's side with this. I know. It's a crazy position to have. I did not expect myself to be in this position. I do want Sheridan and Luis to be together, but I also feel like Beth deserves to get some sort of revenge on these two people.
Mm-hmm.
I do. So I don't know if this is the right way, but I don't mind it. I don't mind her doing that at all. So anyway, on with this farce of a wedding.
My bride's almost here, isn't she, Luis? Tell me how she looks. Maybe Miguel should tell you. Oh, come on, I want you to tell me. She's beautiful. So much, Luis. I know you'd understand because it's the same way you feel about that.
Shut up. I hate him. I hate him. Oh, Luis, tell me how Sheridan looks. Oh, Luis, what else? He just said something else that really irritated. Oh, the Beth thing. Oh, I knew you'd understand because it's the exact same way you feel about Beth. Shut up. You've never heard me talk about Beth like that. Not once. He's so and also it almost feels like he's taunting Luis, right?
Yes. I think I said this to you guys before we started recording, but it's stuff like this that makes me think he is actually not blind, or maybe he can see some and he knows what's going on with Luis and Sheridan and is just trying to get in their heads and get revenge on them for what they're doing to him, because how else can you explain all this? Him coming to Louis, tell me how Sheridan looks. Give your new sister-in-law a kiss. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Don't you want to dance with your new sister-in-law? Welcome Sheridan into the family, Luis. Oh, shut up.
Yeah. It feels like he absolutely knows what's going on. It does. That felt like a taunt. But yeah.
I don't believe it. That wretched daughter may pull this off yet.
Heavenly Father, please do not let anything go wrong.
Oh, Pilar. I think Pilar's prayers are curses, actually.
Are we all here?
Yes, Father.
Please be seated. Tonight is a very important night. Not only because we are starting a brand new year, but because two couples are beginning brand new lives together as man and wife. Sheridan and Antonio, Beth and Luis.
I love how happy Beth is.
Uh-huh.
He's just giddy.
Since the new year is a time of promise, of new beginnings for each and every one of us, I would like to have us all take a moment of reflection to think about all of our individual hopes and our resolutions for this coming year.
Okay, I forgot I left this in here. Everybody, now you're going to hear every citizen of Harmony in their New Year's resolution. Now I feel like maybe I should put this episode out the week of New Year's because it's perfect. It's perfect. Everybody's got their crazy little New Year's resolution. So here we go. Starting with Miguel, it looks like.
I'll make this up to you, Charity. I'm gonna find a way to show you that my love for you is strong enough to overcome every obstacle in our way.
All I ever wanted was you, Miguel. Without you, there's nothing else I want.
What? Excuse me? Without you, there's nothing else I want? Grace has bigger fish to fry with these girls because their self-esteem is so low. So incredibly low. She needs to stop trying to push Charity and Miguel together and start building Charity up and getting that girl some motherfucking hobbies. What do you mean you don't want anything else but in your entire life except for Miguel?
Also, that's not even a resolution.
No.
It's not.
It's not. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Well, I broke him up. Now all I have to do is get Miguel to marry me. The next wedding in this church will be ours.
That's a resolution.
I want peace.
Yep.
I want to find the love Grace and I always held so strongly between us.
Camera pans to Grace, nothing in that head, so no comment from Grace.
That's so true. Grace.
Grace like, I don't want anything.
That's so funny. She doesn't have a New Year's resolution or anything, does she? I didn't even think about that. It goes straight to Ivy and past Grace. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see what Ivy's is. Let me see. I gotta go
Find
back.
the love Grace and I always held so strongly between us.
My New Year's resolution is to win Sam back once and for all, at any cost.
That also is a resolution, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I hereby resolve to ruin my sister's life, just like she ruined mine.
I love that hers was so formal. I hereby resolve to ruin my sister's life. All right, let's see what Eve's got going on.
I vow to protect my family, to hold on to each and every one of them, no matter who tries to tear us apart.
And give out more sedatives than ever.
My resolution is to work hard at my tennis so that Chad and I can go public with our relationship this year.
Yeah, please.
Find a way to hold on to our love, Whitney.
I will stop my sister from stealing Chad away from me.
You gotta be kidding me, Simone.
Okay. So where I'm at in my rewatch, this is still like the beginning of like, and so I was shocked when I watched these episodes, and I'm like, Simone is still fighting for Chad, who is in the corner like making out with Whitney. Like, really? Like this is still going on.
Yes, and it's very much, you have to be kidding me. And it's so much of her ire is for Whitney and none of it is for Chad. It's like, Whitney's trying to steal my boyfriend. Girl, Chad is clearly Whitney's boyfriend. Clearly. Oh my God. Whitney's trying to steal my boyfriend as she's watching them make out. It's like, it takes two, Simone.
I resolve to do whatever it takes to make my husband forget Teresa.
Good luck with that, girl.
That hurts me too.
Like, listen to that. Wait a minute. Go back. So Gwen has hers.
My husband forget Teresa.
Gonna forget Teresa.
I won't let Fox hurt Teresa. Not because I still love her, but because Fox can't be trusted.
Ethan's New Year's resolution is about Teresa.
He can care less about Gwen. He's like, look, whatever with her, but like Teresa better not get into another relationship because God forbid.
I won't let Fox hurt Teresa, not because I love Teresa. Buddy, that's the thing with Ethan that drives me crazy too. It's like, you were gonna marry her last week. You were going to marry her. It's okay that you still love her. There's nothing wrong with being like, yeah, I still love her, but I chose Gwen and I love Gwen too. You can say that. But the whole I don't love Teresa, that giant lie, that very transparent lie. It's obvious that you love Teresa. God, I hate him. He's so stupid. But anyway, who's next?
I will do everything in my power to make Ethan see that he still loves me. I will get him back.
I haven't decided whether it'll be Teresa or Whitney. But I'm going to get to know one of these beautiful women better. Much better.
Okay.
If Beth manages to marry Luis, I vow to make sure her life is a living hell.
You already do that.
I'm going to ditch all of my wives. Find myself a pretty new young thing with no messy entanglements. Oh, sorry up there. I forgot where I was for a moment.
I'm gonna get the goods on you, Teresa. You are going down.
I think that's everybody. Nope, Pilar.
I just pray that this year will bring happiness to all my children.
It won't.
They have suffered enough.
Nope. Sorry.
Antonio and Sheridan, Luis and Beth, this is a particularly important night for the four of you. You are about to be joined in holy matrimony for the rest of your mortal lives. Are you ready?
Absolutely, Father.
Yes.
Luis, Sheridan.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Then let us begin. Antonio and Sheridan, Luis and Beth. This is an especially important night for the four of you. You are about to be united in holy matrimony for the rest of your mortal lives. Are you ready?
Absolutely, Father.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Luis, Sheridan.
This is so stupid.
I'm ready.
It is.
I'm ready too.
The way they were looking at each other.
I just feel like, as Beth, like my pride, because I know Antonio, he's like blind or whatever. He can't see what's happening, even though he should be able to feel it, but whatever. Like, as Beth, like with my pride would not have let me go through with this. Like, you're watching him stand there like, ooh, I don't know. And then the pastor's like, hey, like, are you ready? Like, no, I would have been like, you know, I just don't think we should do this. Like,
and he's looking at the blonde on the other side. Yeah, no, I would never be able to do this. But I've talked about it with Beth. She is an abused, wounded child in a way, right? And she wants Luis. She has glommed onto Luis, and she's gonna have him at any cost, and that means any cost to herself as well, right? Not just the cost to Sheridan, the cost to Luis. She's gonna have it at the cost of her own like self-respect and dignity. It's pathetic. And the more this week goes on, the more pathetic I see. Like the more pathetic I think it is, or more pathetic I think like Beth becomes. To the point that I've been saying like, oh, I'm on Beth's side, but I'm also team stand up girl. I'm always team stand up girl. And yeah, by the end of this week, I'm just like, okay, Beth, it's too far. It's too much for a man who doesn't want you. It's too much for a man who doesn't want you. All right, let's finish this farce of a wedding.
Then let us begin. Because of Antonio's health and a winter storm on its way, I'll go to the heart of the ceremony. Luis, do you take this woman, Beth Wallace, to have and to hold, to cherish and to respect, now and forever, from this day forward?
Just say no.
Yes. Yes, Father, I do take Beth to be my wife.
You're so annoying.
I can't believe this wedding is actually going to happen.
Beth, do you take this man, Luis Lopez Fitzgerald, to have and to hold, to cherish?
I do.
No. knows this can't happen. If Beth marries Louise, I'll end up in a nursing home. Oh, please, please, sweet angels, make something happen to stop this wedding.
Why didn't Louise show up last night? I was so sure he wanted to marry me.
Sheridan does look really pretty. I'm gonna go back. Her dress, I don't like her dress, but
And now for the other happy couple.
her
Antonio, do you
face-
take this?
her hair and makeup are she does look gorgeous. Now that I'm looking at
I
it,
love her hair.
you know, she does look really, really pretty. Okay, now there.
Woman, Sheridan Crane, to have and to hold, to respect and to cherish, from this day forward, forever and ever, till death do you part.
I'm not going anywhere so I can tell him about the stunt you just pulled.
If you breathe a word of this, I swear, I'm gonna send you to the Alcatraz of nursing homes. Or the psych ward. I mean, it's your choice.
Okay, real quick, I want to say they put all of those bad things that Beth has done to Edna very in quick succession, back to back to back. I'm going to be honest with you. Every single time Beth attacked Edna in all of those scenes, I was on Beth's side every single time. So they put that together. Like, they want us as viewers to see Beth as like this horrible, evil villain, and she is, honestly, like, she is kind of she is a villain. But Edna is no saint. I want to be clear. Edna deserved to be knocked around a bit from time to time. I'm sorry. She does.
Mhm.
So anyway.
Beth would have her own montage of all the crap Edna has done to her over the years if we were seeing it from Beth's perspective.
Exactly. So, but anyway, here goes Edna. Finally doing something.
No! No, this can't happen! Everyone, you have to listen to me. See, something isn't right.
I bet the old biddy sprung a leak.
You dare do this? I swear, if you don't shut up, I will kill you. Or you have something to say!
First, Miguel's wedding goes bust. Now this.
Sure, everything will be all right.
No,
just
no,
have to text
people,
Teresa.
you have to listen to me. You see, something isn't right here. The truth.
Oh my God, she's dead. One can only hope. It looks like the wedding will have to be canceled. Yes, I think it might have to be.
Sheridan, oh my fucking God. Like, the look on her face, the smile, the smirk on her face. Yeah, looks like it might have to be. That lady's mama just dropped, maybe dead, in the middle of the cathedral. And you're thinking about the fact that, oh, well, now she can't marry Louise and I don't have to marry Antonio. I don't know. Again, I will say, they, on this show, they write the, quote, good characters to be like, they're good. They're good. They're always good. They make good decisions. They're the good guys. But they're not kind people. They're not thoughtful people. They're not they're not like, I don't know. That moment with Sheridan struck me. I remember when I watched it earlier, I was like, God, Sheridan, that was kind of like, Edna has seized up and fallen, you know. I don't know. Maybe I'm taking it too seriously, but and also I'm just mad at Sheridan, so I'm like, I am nitpicking her a little bit, but she was, I think that was a little out of pocket.
And all that for, like, you could have just again said no. Like, you could have said, you could have stopped all this by saying, You know, this lady didn't have to stand up and like yell and have a heart attack.
Yeah.
For you to, you could have just said no. Like, oh, now we don't have to have this wedding, I guess. You know, like okay.
Exactly.
For you to say no.
Exactly. You could have just said no, and we still wouldn't have. We would have the same result, right? No wedding if you just say no, and we wouldn't have to have like a medical emergency. So, yeah. Anyway.
I don't understand how Beth is standing up there and she was grabbing onto Edna, saying stuff in her ear. Why are people not a little suspicious about that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, and I think I might have brought this up before, that Eve is a mandated reporter, right? And so the fact that early on when we first met Edna, they were at the hospital, and Eve makes a comment about Edna being a frequent flyer, that she is there at the emergency room a lot. And I was like, yeah, that would bring up red flags if you have an elderly person who comes in with all kinds of like injuries regularly, like they're constantly falling, they're constantly like hitting their heads. No, that would should send off some alarm bells in someone like Eve, right? But she has never reported it. She's never, said anything about it. And then in these moments, she's right there while Beth is basically threatening her mom, right? So she knows that Beth is like not the best, but she's Eve. She's evil Eve.
Mother! All right, you made your point.
Right there. Eve is staring right at her.
Well, she shakes her like,
do something.
She's like shaking her.
Beth, stop it. You can hurt your mother shaking her that way. Beth, snap out of it.
Beth, come on.
Thank you.
Come here. Beth, please. I know you're upset, but let Eve take care of her, okay?
No, she'll be okay. She has these spells all the time. She'll wake up in a minute. She won't remember anything. Eve, let's just put her back in the seat. That way, she won't be embarrassed when she comes to.
Beth, I think that your mother may have had a heart attack.
Heart attack?
Hello. Yes, it's Dr. Russell. Would you send an ambulance to St. Margaret Mary's? And make sure it comes down to the side doors toward the front of the church. Thank you.
No, Mother, we want this attack to interrupt the wedding. I think we just have to continue on with the ceremony. For her sake.
Beth, I think we should wait.
Is there anything I can do to help? Why don't you just
leave?
Tell people to try and be patient, okay?
Right.
Nobody wants you here, Ethan.
Excuse me, everybody. If I can have your attention, the ceremony will be delayed just for a while, so feel free to mingle and stretch your legs.
Please, don't die, Mother. Don't cheat me out of the satisfaction of killing you for this.
Look, I know you'll want to ride over to the hospital with your mother in the ambulance, so Hank and I'll just follow you over there, okay?
Okay.
Beth, Luis, I hate to ask you guys this, but with my health the way it is, I may not have another chance to marry Sheridan. If you guys wouldn't mind too much, we'd like to finish our part of the ceremony.
News to Sheridan. To Sheridan. They walk over. He says, oh, with my health the way it is, if you don't mind, we would like to go on with our part of the ceremony. That is news to Sheridan. You didn't discuss that with her. She's like, oh, no. What? No. Oh my God. I cannot stand.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I can't stand him at all. Oh God, we'd like to go on, and Sheridan's like, what? Which actually she does that now.
Antonio, is that really fair? Oh, Sheridan, it's fine. Luis and I completely understand.
That's all right, isn't it, Luis?
Yeah, of course. Of course it is, Antonio. No, that's what you and Sheridan really want.
Beth, I think we better get going.
Yeah.
Okay. Louise.
Okay. All right. So anyway, there's that. That was long. I know that was a lot and long. I'm stop sharing my screen. But I just, there was so many moments in the wedding, and I started pulling like clips, and then I was like, I think I just put them all together. But yeah, I want to talk about the fact that Antonio was the main person who pushed for this double wedding. He was the only person who wanted it. The only one. And I don't know, if you wanted to have the double wedding, and I get it, he's like, well, with my health the way it is, blah, blah, blah. But like, Edna had a heart attack on your wedding day. Maybe not the best day. Maybe it's not the best day. Maybe today's just not the day. It's not your day. And but he continues to kind of push for that. So, Beth and Luis go to the hospital, and while they're at the hospital, Luis and Hank overhear a man talking to like his stepdaughter or his daughter. I think it was his daughter. And he was like, oh, all those wasted years. We knew we loved each other, and that we were meant together to be together, but now it's too late. We can't go back and get all those lost years. He says, I'm going to live the rest of my life regretting that for the rest of my life. And so they overhear this like very random conversation. And it sparks something in Luis, obviously. He's like, yeah, I don't want to waste years with Sheridan. And so Hank starts to kind of try to push him to go back to the wedding, go back to the church and like stop everything. But let's talk about what's going on at the church. At the church, Antonio continues to pressure Sheridan to continue this ceremony. She doesn't want to. She stalls multiple times. She stalls. She says, well, maybe Beth and Luis will come back and then we can all still get married together. And so Antonio's like, TC, can you call Eve and get an update on Mrs. Wallace? When TC calls her, Eve says, yeah, it's not looking too good. I don't think Beth and Luis will be back anytime soon. I think they're going to probably be here all night. And so Antonio tells Sheridan, they're not going to be back. I think we should get on with the wedding. Sheridan continues to stall. She's like, well, we need to give the guests time to get back into the mood for a wedding. Today will not be that day. I'm sorry. At this point, I would not be in the mood for a wedding, no matter how much time you gave me. All I'm going to be thinking is it's New Year's Eve. Like, especially if you don't have like necessarily all of the information like we do as viewers, but like just think of yourself as like a citizen of Harmony who was invited to this crazy wedding, right? It's New Year's Eve. It's nighttime. You already are kind of disappointed because you wanted to go to like a New Year's Eve party, but you had to come to this wedding instead. But then the wedding got postponed and pushed off, and now you're sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting. And the reason it got postponed and pushed off is because a lady maybe died. You don't know if she's alive or not. She was unconscious when they left with her, right? So a lady, like, not just any lady, the bride's mother seems to have dropped dead. I don't think I would be in the mood for the wedding. Like, as a casual guest, I think that would fuck me up a little bit. I think I'd be really sad.
Yeah, it would be really no one's getting back into the mood for this wedding. Like, there's no mood. This is a somber event now. Like, no one wants to be here.
Yeah.
I do want to say, if you are an average citizen of Harmony and you've been to some of these weddings before, number one, you should know that the majority of these weddings do not actually happen. And number two, if they do happen, you know there's going to be a delay. Someone's going to drive their car through the church. Someone is going to have a random pregnancy reveal. Someone is going to have important papers delivered for the groom, and it's going to screw things up.
And a lady might drop dead. So
add that one to the list.
That's to the list. This lady maybe died. The vibe died right along with her. It's not, and it won't be resuscitated. Not tonight. So Ethan is looking around this room, and the great legal scholar he is, the great sharp legal mind he has, he's picking up on the enormous context clues that Sheridan does not want to marry Antonio, right? Like, he calls Luis and he's like, hey, you need to come back to the church. I don't think Sheridan wants to marry Antonio. My bet is that she's stalling, hoping that you'll come back here just in time to stop her from making the biggest mistake of your lives. And he says, I'm convinced if you come back to the church right now, you and Sheridan could be married and start spending your lives together tonight. I just hate that we're now doing this so close to the down to the wire, right? We've had months to blow this whole thing up, and either one of them could have done it at any time, right? For the longest time, it was like Sheridan was like, no, I don't want to tell him. Like, it'll kill him. I don't want to tell him. So Luis was like following her lead. But at this point, what do you really have to lose? I mean, Antonio might die, but is that really a loss? Oh, man. But so he gets that phone call from Ethan. And after the conversation with Ethan, she's still not sure of what to do. Understandably so. It's like, are you really going to just leave Beth at the hospital with her dying mother? I mean, that's kind of it's pretty messed up. So he's not sure of what he should do. Beth is listening in on this conversation. They are literally less than 10 feet apart. Right? Like, Beth is behind a curtain where Edna's hospital bed is, and they're on the other side of the curtain, like Luis and Hank, and then Eve when the agent of chaos comes in. So they're not far from Beth. So Beth is listening to all of these conversations, listening in. And she, of course, is like, no, to herself, no, Luis, don't go back to the church. You have to stay here. Talk to him. Go out there with him. If I'm Beth at this point, right? You really have all the cards in your hand, right? Because he's already here at the hospital. Your mom had a heart attack and is maybe dying. Turn on the waterworks. Say I need to be held. I need to be held. I need somebody to hold me up right now. I'm so devastated and distraught that my mother might die, right? That easy peasy. I don't understand why she would stay high. Especially after all the work she has put in to make sure this all goes off without a hitch, right? I feel like that's such an easy no-brainer, is to play up the sympathy angle of, my mom had a heart attack and you know that I take care of her. And she's like my whole world. And, it would be cruel of Luis to just leave her there by herself, especially if she looks at him and says, I need you. Can you stay here with me? Right. So, but she does not do that. And I don't know why. I guess it's just the bad writing. So, Eve. Oh my God. Eve comes into this conversation and she gives Luis her 2 cents, and she says that you and Sheridan have you share a love like TC and I share. Ugh. Okay. And I couldn't imagine living my life with anybody other than TC. She says, you can't let a true love slip away like that without regretting it for the rest of your life. This fucking bitch is an agent of chaos. You cannot convince me otherwise. She spent months telling Luis and Sheridan, guilting them, telling them, no, you can't tell Antonio the truth. You shouldn't tell. He will die. He will die. Now it's follow your heart. Now it's you can't let true love slip through your fingers. You'll regret it for the rest of your life. Where was this energy yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, a month ago, 3 months ago? Eve, I have this clip. She gets on my nerves, but it's also funny. I also just think it's so funny that Eve, of all people, is like, yeah, no, you should follow your heart. Beth will be okay. Oh, okay.
That surprised me, honestly, when I watched. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Beth will be okay. Will she, sweetie? I don't think so. And also they're so evil to Beth. I'm sorry. I know Beth is bad. I know technically she's bad, but she also is getting treated badly.
Yeah.
She really is.
Yeah.
It's all your fault. Please, Luis, don't go back to the church. Please don't go.
Go, Luis. Go back there. You and Sheridan belong together.
I agree, man. Yeah, but what about Beth? I can't just rip out her heart again.
If Beth loves you, she will understand. She wants you to be happy. No.
I want you to be happy with me, Luis.
So what's the story, buddy? You gonna put a stop to that wedding or not? You're right. And if there's one chance in a million that I could be with Sheridan, I gotta take it. I'm going back to that church.
Good, Luis. Just go. Go before it's too late.
I gotta tell Beth. Luis, I know you want to do the right thing, but there's no time. If you tell Beth, you can miss out on being with Sheridan forever. You're right. I feel awful about it, but I can't take the time to tell Beth. Look, don't say anything to her, all right? Just let me tell her myself. We won't say anything. Just go, man.
Go, come on.
All right.
Oh, Luis. This is your fault. I'm gonna make you pay for this. I will make you pay. I see you. He's running back to Sheridan. You ruined my life, Mother. I told you I would make you pay. And by God, I will.
So
I loved that part because I was like, if you've ever been to a hospital, you know this lady is like barely getting oxygen.
Yeah.
Like this is like oxygen in her nose. Like you're unplugging that. That's it.
Yeah. I had the same thought. I was like, is Edna on life support? I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. Like she's not. Yeah, she thinks she's gonna pull the plug on her, but yeah, jokes on Beth.
Can I talk about what happens next? Because it tickled me in a warped way.
Yeah, but before we do, I just want to say, yeah, that whole thing with Eve. Go, Luis, go. You have to go. There's no time. Beth will be fine if she really loves you. She'll be fine. Eve is a villain. Eve is a villain. Okay. Well, now, yes, tell us what happens next.
Okay, so Beth pulled the plug on whatever machine was on Edna. An alarm starts going off because the plug was pulled. A nurse comes in and she realizes the plug came out. Beth is all over herself apologizing. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I must have knocked it out by accident. And she acts really worried, like, oh my God, did I kill my mother? What happened? Was that her life support? And the nurse is like, oh no, this was this was just a monitor. It's not life support. She's breathing on her own. She's on her way to recovery. And Beth is disappointed. But then the nurse gets ready to give Edna an injection. Eve comes in and she's like, no, stop. That's the wrong medication. It could have been awful if you gave her that. That could have killed her. Beth says, oh, okay. So the nurse puts the syringe back down on the table. Beth gets it, holds it behind her back. The nurse leaves. The nurse runs off for something. There was the code blue.
Yeah.
The nurse runs off without taking the syringe of medicine that was not intended for Edna and goes to attend to whatever else she's doing. And then, was Eve still there? Okay, I wrote down Eve and the nurse both go off, leaving the syringe there.
Yeah.
I wrote that too.
First of all, the syringe that whole thing was like, we're just gonna this apparently is a fatal dose of something, right?
Yes. But we're going to leave it there. It's not meant for Edna, but we're going to leave it there in her room.
Harmony, I would never want to go to Harmony Hospital anywhere else because they mess up a lot. Like Eve, not a good doctor, leaving just uncapped syringes of fatal medicine, just right there. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. Terrible place to be.
Yeah.
I'd rather be at a hospital in a third world country than have to go to this hospital.
For sure.
My chances would be better there.
Yes. I want to say, before, was it, I can't remember, sometime when all of that was happening, what Karen was just talking about, at one point, Beth's like sad, obviously, because partially, I think because of her mother, but also because of Luis. So after having pushed Beth's fiance to leave her for another woman on her wedding day, and she did it not 10 feet from where Beth was dealing with her sick, unconscious mother, right? Eve enters and has the audacity to say, oh, Beth, is anything wrong? Is anything wrong?
You think?
Are you sure nothing's wrong? Are you all right? Excuse me? Is anything wrong? Honestly, if I'm Beth, after hearing that conversation between Eve and Luis and Hank, my revenge list would be Luis, Sheridan, Eve, and Hank in that order.
Mm-hmm.
In that order. Eve is absolutely not, has moved to close to the top of the revenge list if I'm Beth, because what do you mean? What do you mean? You told my fiance to go marry somebody else on my wedding day while you were supposed to be tending to my sick mother. What do you mean, Eve? But yeah, that whole thing with the syringe happens. She thinks she's gonna, Beth has it in her head now that she's gonna kill her mother one way or another. Okay. Mm-hmm. She's gonna find a way. Pulling the plug didn't work. And then the syringe thing happens and another nurse comes in looking for it because it was medicine for a different patient. She's like, oh, and I don't think she could use it then anymore. I don't, it was like the needle, it wasn't a fresh needle anymore. Like, cause it was a needle. It wasn't like the syringe you put into the IV, which I feel like it should have been, but it was like, wasn't it a giant needle?
Yeah, and it didn't have a cap on it or anything. Like, that was the big thing. Like, why doesn't it even have a cap on it?
Yeah, she was going to stab her. And then it was uncapped. So then that other nurse came in, like she was going to go use it on somebody else. And I was like, you can't fucking do that. You can't do that. So, yeah, it is no longer sterile at that point. But whatever, Harmony Hospital, they don't care. Eve is the best doctor they have. So that should tell you something about the level of care that this hospital is able to give to its patients, because everybody in this hospital is negligent at best. At worst, actively doing harm. on purpose. I will always go back to what Eve did to Orville. I will always go back to it every single time. I will not let that rest. Unlike Eve, who is always making other people rest. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. So yeah. That all happens with Edna. Meanwhile, at the church, Gwen once again asks Sheridan if she is sure that she's ready to marry Antonio. And Sheridan says, oh my God. This was when I started to really like flip out on Sheridan. Sheridan says, I don't know what I want. Wait, yes, I do. I want Luis to come back. I want him to stop this. I want to be Luis's wife. You could just stop the fucking wedding, Sheridan. She is pissing me off. She's a stupid idiot. Like, she's so dumb. You could just, I want Luis to come back and I want him to stop this. You can stop it. And I know I've said that so many times. I know I have. And I know it's pointless. But I struggle with this. I really do. Because it is so dumb. They've written her as if she has no power whatsoever. No say so. She is simply an object to be had or to be won by one of these men. And she's the one that she's about to marry is the one who has won her, and she can't do anything about it until the other man comes and takes her from him. And it's like the old Sheridan would never think like that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. So she then, oh my God, she then has a daydream, which I didn't clip this, and I kind of wish I had, but I had already taken so much of the wedding. I was like, that's a lot of clips. She then has a daydream of Luis coming in to stop the wedding on a white horse, literally riding in on a white horse into the church. I got this show. Literally Luis on a white horse riding in, coming to save her. She has quite literally turned herself into a damsel in distress in some kind of storybook. I'm sick of her. Sick to death of her. But of course, that is not what is happening. It's just one of her delusions. She's having Teresa like delusions. So Gwen sees that Sheridan is distracted, and she asks her like, hey Sheridan, you seem like you're a million miles away. What are you thinking about? And Sheridan responds, I was just thinking about Luis. I want to be his wife. I want him to come here and stop this wedding. Gwen says, and I was like, honestly, in that moment, I was like, I love Gwen. And that's the first time I've ever said that. It'll probably be the last. But in this moment, I really did love her. Because Sheridan says, I want to be his wife. I want him to come in here and stop this wedding. Gwen says, why don't you just stop it yourself? Just do it. Yeah, why don't you? Sheridan's response. Do either of you remember what Sheridan's response was? I have it written, but if you want to say it. Her response was, I can't do it alone. What? What do you... I can't do it alone. I can't do it alone. I'm just a little girl. I can't do it all by myself. She's like, I want to be with Luis more than anything, but Antonio keeps telling me how much it means to him to marry me. It's the only thing keeping him alive. But that would still be true whether Luis was here or not. It would still be true.
Yeah.
It would still be true. You would still do the same amount of damage, whether Luis was here or not.
This might be going back to something you talked about on the podcast a while ago, where if you said something like, I forget the situation, but Sheridan was pulling this sort of stuff, and it's like, almost like she wants to know she's going to have Luis as her backup. If she cuts things off with Antonio, she wants to be sure she's going to have Luis swoop in and marry her.
Right. No, that I think that's exactly right. And maybe I probably did say something like that because I do agree. It feels like she, and I feel similarly about Luis. I feel like they're both doing similar things. Wherein if she can't marry Luis, she might as well marry Antonio right now. And Luis is doing the same thing. If I can't marry Sheridan, I might as well marry Beth. That's like that's what they're doing, but that's
what a terrible way to look at marriage. I might as well marry them. I want to get married and have kids. Blah blah blah.
Yes, especially considering how much weight they put on the institution of marriage. Yeah. Not only the weight that they put on the institution of marriage, but in the show in general, in the show's ethos is about like great love, grand love, and yeah. I guess I might as well. Really, this is the story we're going to tell. This really could have been a very interesting story. It really could have. And they've done so much damage to it that we would have to retcon way back. We would have to go so far back to fix the issues. But honestly, we could have when Sheridan and Luis were going to elope last week, that could have been like the start of this whole storyline turning around and being something like really, really interesting to watch, you know? But they're not doing that. They're not doing that. And I don't know. I have gotten to a point with this storyline that I like hate it. I'm sorry. I wish I didn't. I know so many people like love Shuis. I want them to be together, but I don't like the trajectory. I don't like the way this has been written. Yeah, I struggle to watch it. I really do struggle to watch it, especially in these moments where Sheridan is acting like she has zero autonomy whatsoever. She's acting like she doesn't have a say in it at all. Like she doesn't have a choice. She's just a thing that a man can pick up and put down where he pleases, and then the other man can pick up and put down where he pleases. Like, and she has no say in the matter whatsoever. She's completely helpless. And I love strong women. I love a strong female lead. I do. Most of the stuff outside of like Passions, when I'm watching anything that I like to watch, pretty much everything I like to watch has very strong female leads. I love strong women. So I struggle with this. I really, really do. So anyway,
it's super hard. Sorry.
No, go for it.
Hard, kind of like jarring for me to be like have watched this section and then to be where I am. I know I keep going back to where I am in the rewatch, but like where I am in like my part of the rewatch is like Sheridan and Luis, like they just unmasked that guy. Like she was just so strong. Like she was like fighting this girl. Like I have a black belt, or you know whatever she said. I know jujitsu or whatever. Like she was so like, you know, like Julian and Alistair had underestimated her, thought like, oh, she's dumb, like she's gonna just fall for this. And now like to go from like watching that and being like, yeah, go Sheridan, to like Sheridan's like, oh, well, whatever happens to me just happens, I guess, because I can't do anything about it. Like that was really jarring. Like what happened to her between then and now?
What happened to her? And I could give this a pass if they had written it where Sheridan got her memories back, because she had amnesia and she was like a whole different person. So I could have given them somewhat of a pass if Sheridan started to get her memories back, but they weren't all of her wasn't back, or they like explained like, yes, Sheridan had amnesia, but she has some residual like brain damage. Okay, because that is the only acceptable excuse for this behavior, brain damage. It is the only acceptable excuse for this behavior. It's a traumatic brain injury. That's it. Other than that, what are we doing, baby girl? What are we doing? But allegedly, Sheridan is back to the old Sheridan, right? Like she remembers everything. She knows who she is. She has all her faculties about her. But if they had written in there that Eve examined her and was like, oh my gosh, your CT scan shows some damage to your frontal lobe or your prefrontal cortex or some shit, I'd have been like, okay, all right, Sheridan's got a fucked up brain and she's making bad choices.
That's a really interesting point. It's almost like she has Sheridan's memories, but her personality is still Diana. Her personality is still the very weak, very reliant on others, can't even fucking carry a tray of water by herself. It's so sad. The writers killed this storyline and these characters by making them act this way that is so far out of character.
Yeah, they killed it. They killed it. And this was such a great storyline. This was probably, honestly, of the like different relationships, like the loving relationships, I think Sheridan and Louise for a while had kind of the healthiest one, right? It wasn't one person obsessed with the other one and scheming to try to get the other one. It was like these two people who really had a connection, had chemistry, and grew to love each other. Oh, and that's another thing. We like watch them really fall in love with each other versus like Teresa and Ethan, where it's like Teresa was obsessed with him and we never saw her falling in love with Ethan, right? She was already 100% all the way in for Ethan. And then we saw Ethan like start to fall in love with her. But it's so different to see two people mutually fall in love with each other and grow together. And that's why this upsets me so much. It was like the one relationship they really had gotten right. You know, like you have to give us something, Passions. You have to give people something to hold on to. That's the other thing. I feel like there's no relationships in the show at this point right now that I can cling to, that I can say like, oh, at least they're doing well. And like, it's a nice little reprieve from all the other chaos. It reminds me of, well, what's that show? Love is Blind. Do either of you watch Love is Blind?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
No.
So the first two seasons, I loved the first two seasons. I especially loved the first season, but the first two seasons, there were couples on there who didn't work out, but it was, you know, the drama was fun to watch. But also there were couples where it did work and they were like, they loved each other. And like Lauren and Cameron are just had a baby. And like, you know, I still follow them. And
same.
I love that I love that there's that little bit of balance there. Like I don't mind a show or something being 70% or even 60 to 70% of like just like mess and drama and relationships that are like messy and gross. But I need that 20% or 30% of a nice relationship, something that to cling to a little bit. Like maybe there's hope. When I'm watching this, it's like hopeless. It's hopeless for everybody.
Yep.
It's hopeless for everybody. I can't think of one relationship right now that I have any hope for at all. So I hate that. I really hate it. Yeah. But anyway, Gwen goes on. Sorry, I went on a little tangent, but yes, Gwen goes on when Sheridan says, I want to be Luis's wife more than anything, but Antonio keeps telling me how much it means to him to marry me. It's the only thing keeping him alive. Gwen says, Sheridan, don't marry Antonio out of pity. You are going to be miserable, and you're going to make him miserable too. Yeah, Gwen is on the money here. Now, I could say something shady, but I think,
because I know what you were thinking, but but not gonna say it.
I don't know if I should, but I think I will go on and say it. Gwen, that's called foreshadowing, right? Like that's a little glimpse into Gwen's future, because while Ethan, I don't know that Ethan necessarily married her out of pity. He definitely didn't marry her for the right reasons, right? I don't know that I wouldn't call it pity exactly. It's definitely not a one-to-one comparison to Sheridan and Antonio, but it's similar in that Ethan married her for not all the wrong reasons, but for some not so great reasons, right? Certainly not the reason of I love you passionately, right? So she knows you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna make him miserable too. Oh my gosh. So sorry, Gwen. Sorry, Maria. All right. So Gwen at this point, sees Ethan talking to Teresa. She's like, I gotta go talk to Ethan. She leaves Sheridan to her own devices. At this point, during this little break of the wedding, Alistair calls Julian and urges him to move the ceremony along so that they can continue to keep Sheridan and Luis apart. So he goes over to Sheridan to push her to marry Antonio, saying like, father doesn't want any more bad publicity. And Sheridan's like, bad publicity? What are you talking about? And he was like, remember your last wedding that didn't work out? And she's like, it's not my fault Ivy drove into the church. And he's like, well, you're guilty by association, so you better get married today or father won't be happy. And again, it's like Sheridan had gotten to a point where she was like standing up to Louis. She was standing up to Louis, but she was standing up to Alistair and she was standing up to Julian. And in this moment, she should have looked at the Sheridan I had grown to love, would have looked at Julian and been like, hey, father he'll be fine. And like, he has never loved me. And so I don't care if he feels like this is going to give him bad publicity or not. Like, frankly, this is my life. I'll do what I will live it the way I damn well please. That is what the Sheridan I had grown to love would have said to Julian at this point. But that is not what she does. She like frets about like, oh no, is father going to be upset with me? Who gives a shit, Sheridan? Alistair is evil and you know it. You know it for a fact. Oh gosh. So at this point, Antonio is like having a conversation with Liz about he doesn't know it's about TC, but Liz is like talking about some man that she's like interested in, and he's married to a horrible woman who's a liar and a tramp. And then Antonio starts to have one of his brain freezes, his little fits. And he has a little fit. And I wrote, Antonio has one of his little attacks and insists on starting the wedding again. Sheridan tries to stall for time again, saying Beth and Luis might come back. And Antonio replies, I don't think so. And frankly, right now, I don't care if they do come back, because marrying you is going to fulfill all of my dreams. It's going to make every one of my dreams come absolutely true. And I cannot wait till we are husband and wife. Now, please, everyone else is here. And I'm sorry Luis and Beth aren't here, but I want to get married now. I cannot stand him.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And again, I will say, he was the one who wanted this dumbass double wedding to begin with. He wanted this. So, and also, I also think in that moment when he like faked that little episode, or I'm sorry, I'm not saying he's faking it, but I think he did fake it. I think he faked it to put pressure on Sheridan to move on with the ceremony. I really do. Yeah. I can't prove it. But I think he faked that. It was just, the timing was just too convenient. The timing was like, Sheridan stalling. I want to get this over with. Oh, my brain. Oh, I'm okay, but we need to do this wedding. Like, okay. I want to get married now. I can't stand him. And yeah, he pushed for this double wedding. Your brother's fiance's mother like had a heart attack. Maybe y'all all should have went to the hospital. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but to me, that's the end of the wedding. That's the end. I can't even believe they're even contemplating this. Anyway, Sheridan agrees. She falls for his hissy fit, and she says, "Okay, we can start the ceremony again." Her inner monologue says, "Please, Luis, please come and stop this wedding. Don't let me do this." Let you? Now she's getting it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'm sick of her. Please, Luis, don't let you do this. Luis has been begging you for months to break things off with Antonio. Months, and you refuse to do it. Now you're standing at the altar for reasons that it's your fault that you're here. I will not mince words here with Sheridan. It is her fault that she is in this position. It is nobody's fault but Sheridan's. She has had so many opportunities to come clean with Antonio, and she just refused to do it. And now she wants somebody else. That's the other thing. She wants somebody else to do the dirty work. She doesn't want to get her hands dirty. She wants somebody else to shoulder the guilt of Antonio's hurt and pain and possibly his death. And again, I will say, to me, that doesn't make her a good guy. It doesn't make her a good person. I don't know what it makes her. Maybe not necessarily a bad person, but it certainly does not make for a good person, in my opinion. She's not. Please come and save me, Luis. Don't let me do this. There's nothing more to be said. I keep saying it. You could just stop. You could just not do it.
Yeah.
You have free will. Use it. Use it. But ceremony begins again. Rebecca and Julian's cell phones go off, which was probably my favorite part of the wedding. Just their ringtones in the middle of the wedding was probably my favorite part of the whole wedding. Rebecca, and we'll talk about this more in a minute, or in the Fated Couples, but Rebecca has been getting phone calls throughout the week about getting the goods on Teresa. She's alluding to something. So that's what her phone call was about. Julian's phone call was Alistair calling him to tell him that Luis is headed back to the church to stop the ceremony because he decided, you know what? Yeah, I have to go. I have to stop this. And Julian then frantically bars the doors and locks all the windows, and he's like, I'd like to see him try to get in now. But Luis, of course, manages to get back into the church. Yeah, he gets there, but and is stalled, but he eventually managed to get back into the church. And he gets in and he yells, "Stop!" He yells it loudly, "Stop!" in the middle of a ceremony, right? Let's watch this clip. See what we got going on here.
Stop! Stop the wedding.
Luis.
What's going on?
Oh, Pokey. Isn't it romantic? Luis crashing in, trying to stop the wedding.
Romantic? It's nothing but trouble. I got here as fast as I could. Look, this wedding has to stop. I made it here on time. Seeing you two together made me realize that I've made the right decision.
What are you talking about, Luis?
I'm glad I stopped the wedding.
Luis, listen.
Miguel,
no,
not now.
No,
okay?
You don't understand. You didn't stop the wedding. It's over. Father Lonigan just pronounced Antonio and Sheridan husband and wife.
So?
What?
He was about to tell Antonio to kiss the bride.
That's right, Luis. We're married. You're now looking at Mr. and Mrs. Antonio Lopez Fitzgerald.
Do you, Sheridan, take Antonio to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
That is wide in history. Pathetic.
Oh, Stewie. I can't believe this.
I know why you wanted to stop the wedding, Luis.
No, you don't!
You already had. Well, guess what? You still get to see me kiss the bride.
I'm sorry you didn't make it on time. I wish I would have called you sooner.
Antonio?
Right here, Father.
Good. We don't want you taking off without completing the ceremony.
No chance of that. I've waited months for this moment.
Good. In that case, you may kiss the bride.
Yeah, I mean,
It's stuff exactly like that that makes me say he is not blind and he knows what's going on. Luis, no, you got here for the most important part. Now you get to see me kiss the bride. Shut up, asshole.
100% agree. I feel the same way. It's like, oh, I know why you wanted to stop the wedding. You wanted to see me kiss, share, or like, yeah, you wanted to see my wedding, more of my wedding, but you made it for the most important part. You get to watch me kiss Sheridan now. It's like, yeah, it feels like he's taunting him. It does.
It does.
There's no way that he could not know, like, even blind or whatever, like the undertone of like, why are you running in to stop this wedding at all?
Yeah, why would you run in and yell, stop, and then double down, stop the wedding?
Like, I made the right decision running in right now.
Yeah, I think you said it earlier, Acacia. How could he not feel the undercurrents, feel the tension and the sadness from all these people? I don't get it.
He's oblivious and he's so self-absorbed. He is so incredibly self-absorbed. All of this was about him and him alone. And you hear it in every speech he makes. It's always, Sheridan, you're making my dreams come true. You're my dream come true. This will be the best thing for me and my life, always. It's never like, oh, Sheridan, how do you feel about this? I'm sorry. If he was, this might be insensitive to say, but I feel like if you're dying and you know you're dying, the only reason to maybe get married to someone is so that they will be taken care of after you're gone, right? He doesn't have anything. So there's no real reason for him to like put her through this. I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure that there are people who have married someone knowing that they were dying, or they've gotten married and the both parties understood that one of them was going to die soon, and they wanted to do it because they loved each other so deeply, and that's a beautiful thing. I do see that being a beautiful thing, but I also feel like from a pragmatic standpoint, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say it's wrong. It's not wrong. I guess it just depends on who you are. And for me, it's like, I wouldn't want someone to have to deal with my death, like right after we got married. You know what I mean? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. If it were me, I would be like, no, we shouldn't be getting married. I'm dying. I'm dying. Like, I'm not going to be here. You should find somebody who's going to be there for you for the rest of your life, who you can actually build a life with. But again, that's just my own personal like thing. I'm not saying it's wrong or anything, because I know that is something that people do. I know it is. And it is a beautiful thing. It really is. But it also, there's certain implications to that, I feel like, but, and also, you know what? These people are fucking fictional, and I hate Antonio, so he's wrong for this. Like, why would you put her through that? So he is wrong for this.
One thing I thought was so funny, to just kind of go back to the ceremony, was like when we start like the beginning ceremony when it was both couples, and Father Lonigan's like, okay, we gotta we're gonna get to the heart of it. Like, do you take whoever to be? And then the second part of it, what Antonio, he's like, I want to hear all of it. Go through the entire ceremony. I want to hear it all, But at first, like, Father Lonigan's like, well, because of his health, we got to rush through this. Like, we got to do it, Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and which one is
So
it?
ridiculous.
Is he dying in a few minutes, or can he stand up here a little bit longer? Which one is it? Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a blizzard coming that means people need to leave quickly and get home? Or is it not? Can they stay and listen to the ceremony go on for a long time?
Yeah. So, so Luis, it was too late. He did not make it in time to stop Sheridan from making this decision, because apparently she couldn't have stopped it herself. If I'm Luis at this point too, like, and I find out that Sheridan really was just like waiting on me to stop this, at that point it's like, you're not the woman I fell in love with. I don't want to be with you. What do you mean you couldn't just stop it yourself? So anyway, after this whole wedding thing, Antonio tells Luis, where are you? Luis is like, I'm right here, still standing right here. He's like, I want you to be the first person to welcome Sheridan into the family. Give your new sister-in-law a kiss to welcome her into the family. He's so weird. He's a weirdo. He's a strange man. I find him disgusting and agree that I think he knows what's going on. I want to believe that he knows what's going on because it makes him even more despicable, right?
Mm-hmm. He's either very creepy by doing this or he knows what's going on and he's taunting them. It's one of the two.
Yeah, what come and kiss your new sister-in-law. Welcome her into the family. And so then Luis walks over to Sheridan, kisses her on the cheek, says welcome to the family. It's very uncomfortable. It was deeply uncomfortable. Everybody in the sanctuary was uncomfortable. Everybody in the church. Because absolutely everyone in this church knows that Luis and Sheridan love each other and that Sheridan only married Antonio because he's dying. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. And it's so uncomfortable. Yeah.
So, okay. And does Antonio not, like, does he not know their backstory or? Nope. Okay. No. Okay. That makes sense now because I'm like, how does he not know this backstory?
How does he not know? How does he not know? It's crazy because in a town like Harmony, there's no way it didn't come up at some point. Like somebody said it. And every time we've seen him get close to it, he's heard people say it, but he just like refuses to like believe it, or somebody will come in and try to change it and say, oh no, you misunderstood. That's not what they meant or what have you. Like Father Lonigan slipped up like twice and was like, Luis and Sheridan, when are you two getting married? And like, when are we going to set the date? And they, managed to cover it up and basically called Father Lonigan senile. And it was like, well, you know how old he is. He didn't mean it, Yeah, no, there's been several times where he should know. I'm going to say that. He should know. And because he should know, I'm going to say he does know. That's what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They even sat him down a long time ago with the whole family, with Eve. They brought him this photo book of Luis and Sheridan so they could show him, no, it's not like we just hooked up after you guys came to Harmony. We knew each other and were in love before you ever met Sheridan. They sat Antonio down. They were going to tell him all that. And then LeTara, was that the first time he ever had a health problem?
No, that was the second time he went blind. So that was okay. So he went blind. He went blind one time. He went blind one time because he was walking past Sheridan's cottage and he saw it in the window, but he didn't see it. We find out that he had gone blind, and so he, quote, didn't see it. But what he would have seen if he wasn't blind is that Sheridan and Luis were making love, having sex, right? But he, quote, didn't see it because he went blind. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. Then that blindness was temporary. Like his vision came back and his illness continued to progress, but his vision was still like fine. Then they sit him down to have this like intervention with him. They hand him this book. They open it to the first page, which is like Luis and Sheridan's engagement announcement from the newspaper. And he goes, I can't believe it. And then Luis says, I remember this so vividly. He opens the book. He goes, I can't believe it. Luis says, so now you see, right? And Antonio says, no, Luis, I can't see anything.
Oh my God.
So he went blind. He went blind at that moment. He hasn't his vision hasn't recovered since then. But yeah, he doesn't know. Allegedly, according to the show, he does not know. But that's, in my opinion, be a lot of malarkey. So anyway, yeah, we have a very uncomfortable moment in the church. Everybody knows that Luis and Sheridan belong together, but Sheridan has married Antonio, so whatever. They go back to the mansion. I'm exasperated. I'm over it. They go back to the mansion, and Sheridan and Antonio have a reception at the mansion. The sound cut out, but it was like a montage of like scenes at this reception between like Sheridan and Antonio and Luis like watching from afar, right? And the song, because I went to my stash and I found what the sound was. And the song was the song called "I Don't Know When" by Katie Mack. I can't play it for y'all because I'm pretty sure the reason that it was muted on YouTube was for copyright purposes. But I'm not gonna hold y'all. And I know y'all know I'm such a crybaby. God, I'm such a little whiny crybaby. But it made me cry. It made me cry. So I'm going to read y'all some of the lyrics to this song because I was quite moved by the scene. So you know what? I might post it on like the TikTok. Maybe it won't get pulled down from the TikTok, but I don't want to put it in the episode because there's one episode where Wipeout was in it while Whitney was like playing tennis, and it was like barely in it, but I got hit for copyright on YouTube and on Spotify, and I actually had to pull that whole episode down and re-upload it. And so it's like the third episode of the 6th season. I had to pull it down, re-upload it without that audio, and so now the third episode is like under like the episode 7 or something because I had to like take it down, and I don't want to have to do all that again. So I'm not going to play this music just in case, but it was sad to me. So imagine in your mind's eye, Sheridan and Luis sharing the glass of champagne, dancing together, having cake, and this song is playing in the background that says, seasons come, seasons go, love runs hot, love runs cold, got me feeling like I'm growing old. The things you did, you told me so. Who knows who knows when we can ever meet as friends. Think of now and think of then. Who'd ever think our love would end? I know it sounds like Dr. Seuss, but in the song, it was so pretty. And it just made me cry. Sometimes, baby, we just drift apart. We just drifted apart. Something must have left your heart. But I don't know how, and I don't know what, I don't know when. And I think the reason that this really spoke to me is because that's like exactly what's going on in this, right? Like they don't know why, how, or when, because both of them think that the other one made this choice, right? So it was sad. It made me sad. I don't know. I cried. I can't help who I am. So anyway, that happens at the reception. Doesn't Antonio make him dance with Sheridan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or either Antonio makes them do it or the computer thing that Teresa rigs up picks it.
Yes,
I think it's the computer system.
You are absolutely right. It is the computer. Thank you for bringing that up. So let's talk about the computer. Luis is talking to Teresa. Teresa goes over to him to try to like cheer him up. And he laments the fact that he got there too late. He goes, it was 5 minutes. I was 5 minutes late to the church. And in 5 minutes, I lost everything I've ever dreamed of. And Teresa's like, well, I mean, Antonio's probably going to die soon, right? Like, the thing I love about Teresa in this moment, and they don't explicitly say it, but it's clear that she cares more about Luis than she does about Antonio. Like, it's clear that she loves Luis more than she does about Antonio. And the only reason I think she hasn't really made a stink about Sheridan and Antonio being together and like trying to help Luis and Sheridan be together is because of her mom. I think because of the Pilar of it all, and how, because Pilar has been a big reason why this has gone on for so long, right? Because she was like begging them not to say anything to Antonio too, right? And I think partially Teresa's like wrapped up in her own shit, but also I think she was like, yeah, if it were up to me, I would just choose Luis, but mama Mama would be devastated if anything happened to Antonio, so I'm gonna leave it alone. But she's clearly like on Luis's side, right? So she tells Luis, Antonio might die. He's probably gonna die soon. Like I of course I don't want him to die, but like it is what it is. So you sure you can't just get with Sheridan after he dies? And Luis is like, I don't even want to think about it. And Teresa's like, yeah, no, me either. No, of course, no. Oh, knock on wood. We hope he lives forever. But if he doesn't, right? I'm just telling you, it's not necessarily too late for you and Sheridan. Like there's still a chance for the two of you. And then she tells him, but I have a surprise for you later. I have a surprise. Turns out this surprise, she's like, okay, everybody, because she's hosting this reception at the mansion. And she's like, okay, everybody, I have a surprise for everyone. It's a very cool new game. And it's a dance partner randomizer. It's like, we've put in all of the names of all of the guests into this computer, and the computer will spit out one female guest name and one male guest name, and those two people have to dance together. And so we do this whole rigmarole. Of course, it's a not so random randomizer, right? Like Teresa has rigged the hell out of this thing. And so I'll just go down the couples who end up dancing together. Of course, she puts Chad and Whitney together. She puts herself and Ethan together, of course. Like, that in and of itself is so clearly, like, so transparent. She puts, because she was like, I've got something that's gonna also throw a wrench in Ivy's plan. Like, she was trying to ruin Ivy's night too. So she put Chief Bennett. Sam. She put Sam and Grace together dancing, and I think she tried to do Miguel and Charity, or maybe she didn't do anything with that, because Reese and Jessica actually like rig it to say Charity and Miguel, but then Kay rigs it to say Kay and Miguel, of course. I think that's all the couples who end up. Julian ends up with some random lady, but he was happy about it. But I think that's like all of the couples that ended up with like their quote randomized partner, But so he and Luis and Sheridan end up dancing together at one point. But they don't have any conversation. They don't talk about anything. It's just uncomfortable. It's awkward. Let's go to the hospital real quick. At the hospital, oh my God. At the hospital, Beth sees the reception on the computer. Let's talk about how this happened.
Oh God,
So
this was
absurd.
stupid.
This was so absurd. TC is like so concerned about Eve being at the hospital and missing the reception. He asks Reese to rig the security cameras. He's like, the cranes have so many security cameras. Reese, do you think you could rig up the security cameras to send a feed to the hospital computers? I'm pretty sure that's a federal crime.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it is. And Reese is like, yeah, pretty sure I could do that. So he goes, tears out like a wall panel and starts like dealing with some wires, pulling wires apart and fixing some stuff. He's like, all right, I did it. And then they call Eve Russell at the hospital. He's like, Dr. Russell, are you in front of a computer? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, you see the little party hat on your screen? I mean, the level of programming that would have to go into doing something like this is like far beyond just crossing some wires. And so he's like, click on the little party hat icon on your screen at the hospital. And she opens it and it's a live feed. They've got a live feed of the reception. And so that's how Beth ends up seeing on the screen that Luis and Sheridan are dancing together. So she rushes back to the mansion. She's like, no, this is not happening. Not on my watch. I put too much into this man for Sheridan to swoop in and take him from me now. So she rushes back over. Let me see. Eve rushes in and manages. Eve also sees TC dancing with Liz, because that was one that what came up on the randomizer too. That's how you should know it's not so random. Like, how the hell is TC matched up with his wife?
No, it was TC and Eve. Eve wasn't there, so Liz fills in for Eve.
Exactly.
Eve sees them dancing on the video. There's also an ethical component to all this. You're at work, a doctor at a hospital. You had the emergency with Edna, and they mentioned she had another emergency that night, but you're standing there watching video of a wedding reception at work? Come on.
It was supposed to be her day off.
Yeah, Doctor of the Year.
Doctor
And
of
who
the
wants to watch a wedding reception? Like, the fun is being there. Like, I don't want to watch anyone's wedding reception.
It was so dumb. It was just yet another sloppy, lazy writing tactic by the writers of Passions so that Eve could see TC and Liz dancing together, and that Beth could see Luis and Sheridan dancing together so that she could go back to the mansion and be an obstacle for the two of them. That's all it was. It was very convoluted. It was very stupid. It was based in no real science or technology whatsoever. But that's what they did. So yeah, Luis and Sheridan, they're sharing this dance courtesy of the Not So Random randomizer, and during their dance, Antonio suffers another one of his little fits. Okay, and he's like, "Oh my brain!" And Eve has come back to the party, so she rushes in to help him, and she manages to help him by giving him some sort of injection. So I'm just going to use this.
You want a sedative or something to quiet your nerves?
She apparently gives him some sort of injection. Sorry. So she says to him, "Antonio, where are your pills?" And he says, "I don't know. I don't have them on me." And she tells him, "Antonio, you have to keep your pills on you. With an episode like this, those pills could save your life. Luckily, I was here to inject you." You just carry his injectable around on you, whatever it is. Luckily, I was here to inject you.
You want a sedative or something to quiet your nerves?
She loves stabbing people. But Antonio, you're dying, but you say you love Sheridan so much. When you try to prolong your life as much as possible, why would you leave the house without your pills? Especially on a day like today, right? Yeah. Like, why is he's so resistant to medical care. It drives me crazy. He's so incredibly resistant to medical care. He's annoying. So they're like, "Oh, you should go to the hospital." And Antonio insists, "No, I don't want to go to the hospital, because why should I go to the hospital? Why should you go to the hospital? You're only dying." And so he says, I'm just a little tired. I'm just tired. And he says, "Sheridan, are you ready to go back to the cottage?" But then he's like, "Oh, but wait, I haven't thrown the garter yet, and I need to toss the garter."
Yeah, tradition. We have to keep with tradition.
I don't want to break tradition. Okay. And so, long story short, he throws the garter. Luis catches it. It was so funny to me that he got it off, and then Sheridan had to stand up to position him in the right direction. He was, I don't know. It was just a funny little touch. They used her to make him face the right way. So he shoots the garter off, and Luis catches it, and you're getting married next, little brother. And then Sheridan, this was hilarious. Sheridan's like, "My turn, ladies. I'm gonna throw the bouquet." And so she turns around to throw the bouquet. Beth comes charging in like a buffalo. She comes charging in. She knocks over a waiter. She's knocking over hors d'oeuvre trays and stuff, trying to get to this bouquet. And she makes a mad dive for it when it is thrown, and she catches it, and she's so happy. Her eyes, this is the craziest I've seen her eyes, I think. She is officially Crazy Eyes Beth. Officially. Her pupils were dilated to the size of fucking nickels. She looked crazy to me. Yeah, she's not well. So I think this might be my last clip for Shuis, and then we'll be basically done with this. So I have this little clip. Let's see.
After Luis catches the garter, Antonio says, "It's fate. Luis will be the next one to get married."
It's fate.
It's fate. Taking after his sister.
Oh, God. All right. Here we go.
Here it comes, guys.
Luis.
My brother cut? Well, it went straight to him. And the rest of us never even had a chance.
Well, it was fate. Luis is gonna be the one to get married next.
And she will be one lucky girl.
Congratulations, brother.
Well, my turn. All eligible ladies for the bouquet toss. You've got to catch it because it will mean that you and Chad will be the next to marry. Good luck. Thanks. On the count of 3. One.
Here comes Beth.
2.
What a nut.
Poor Kay. She was getting ready to catch those flowers.
Beth.
Only makes sense. Luis caught the garter, and well, looks like they'll be next to get married.
Congratulations, Beth.
Thanks, Whitney.
Oh.
That should have been me. Well, I guess she deserves it. I mean, she's had a pretty lousy night. You know, if it weren't for her mom getting sick, she'd already be married to Luis. So, I see you caught the garter.
Yeah.
I caught the bouquet. Guess we were meant to be together.
Right?
Hey, Luis, you got a minute?
Yeah.
Beth is still in her wedding dress. Doesn't she know that you left the hospital to go stop Sheridan from marrying Antonio?
How would she know that? You were the one that told him to go without telling her. How would she know that? He knows. Hank, come on now. Come on, buddy.
So what are you gonna do? I have no idea.
Hi, you two. Congratulations.
Is that Beth? How's your mom?
Oh, better. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I got to see the beginning of the reception at the hospital.
How?
From a computer. TC somehow arranged it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, listen, I know you have a lot of people waiting to wish you well, but just let me say that I hope you two are very, very happy together.
That's very sweet of you, Beth. I appreciate that. Looks like you and Luis will be getting married next, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we will. Right, darling?
Right. What? So are you ready to go to the cottage?
All set.
Yeah, I'm feeling just a little bit dizzy. I don't know what it is, but maybe somebody could help us. Luis, would you mind?
Yeah, sure.
Why does Luis have to do
I'll come
it?
along, too, if that's okay.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
So happy for you, Milo.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mama.
Here they come, folks. Mr. and Mrs. Antonio Lopez Fitzgerald.
Boo.
Boo. Boo. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah. They go back to the cottage. Yeah. Beth looked crazy. Oh God. It's at this point that I start to, like, I still have sympathy. I do have sympathy for Beth, but I'm also like, girl, if it takes all this if it takes all this, maybe it's not right for you. And I know she feels like this is all like, it's Luis or nothing. And she has said that. She's like, I can't settle for someone other than Luis. Like, I know Luis is like the greatest, whatever. But Luis doesn't want you. He doesn't want you. I couldn't handle it personally. But
it's like secondhand embarrassment watching it a little bit.
Yeah. It is. And I think that's the reason why with a lot of these characters, a lot of the women in particular, I struggle because I oftentimes try to find like things to relate to them about and be like, as I watch them, we're almost 1,000 episodes into this show. So I feel like I like these characters. I try to relate to them, but in moments like this, I just can't. I find that wholly unrelatable. I find it unrelatable in its entirety to be jumping through hoops, tying yourself up in knots over a man who blatantly wants to be with someone else. Yeah, So over at the cottage, Antonio insists on carrying Sheridan across the threshold. He does it, whatever. Luis is like, all right, you made it in. You made it here without falling down and passing out. I'm going to leave. He leaves very, very quickly. He and Beth leave. Antonio tells Sheridan he has a surprise for her. Turns out it's like a honeymoon suite or something at the Cliffside Inn. So they go to the Cliffside Inn. Luis goes home and he's wound very, very tightly. And he pours himself a couple of drinks, pounds them. He like pours drinks and just like chugs some drinks. Beth sneaks up on him, surprises him. He like kind of like pushes her or something, and she screams. He's like, "Oh my God, Beth, I'm just, I'm just wound up a little tightly. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But maybe you should go home." She says, "Well, my mom's still at the hospital. I really don't want to be at home alone tonight, Luis." And then he's like, "Well, actually, I had gotten this room at the Cliffside Inn for our honeymoon. We can still go. We can go there and, be alone and talk. We can go there and be alone and talk." He said that so many times. Like, yeah, we can go and we can, talk. We can go and talk. Y'all can talk here, Luis. Why take her to the honeymoon suite at the Cliffside Inn to break her heart? Surely that's what he's about to do. Well, maybe he's not. I don't know. I can't tell. Because Luis says he doesn't know what he wants to do. He just told Hank that. So I guess he has waffled in his resolve to like call off his wedding to Beth. But it's like, if you were racing to stop Sheridan's wedding, that's enough of a sign to know that you shouldn't marry Beth. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna have some kind of mix up because these two brothers have, unbeknownst to each other, reserved adjoining rooms at the Cliffside Inn, adjoining honeymoon suites. So there's gonna be some kind of mix up in the next week. I'm not sure what. I don't know what. I don't give a damn. I don't. I'm over this. So anything to add? That's my last note for this storyline. No.
No.
And you know what? I think that's going to be the end of part 1 because Teresa, Chad and Whitney, Eve, Ivy, all of that stuff, magic, all of that can go together in one part. So we're going to finish this part and we're going to take a break. So, Karen, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Discord. I'm Karen on the Discord.
All right. Acacia, would you like to share your socials at all?
Yeah, so I have actually a Passions TikTok. It's Passions Obsessed One. I just followed
you.
That's me.
Yeah, okay.
So that's my Passions TikTok. It's just like some clips and some like little funny facts and things like that. So
love. Okay, so I'll link that in the bio. Or no, sorry, not in the bio. Good Lord, I'm tired. I will link that in the description. And as always, you all can find me on patreon.com/passionspodcast. Sign up for whatever tier you find most agreeable. I'm on the Discord. I will start posting a little bit more on TikTok and Instagram and stuff, but it's been a crazy time. If you don't know, my dad had a heart attack. That's why it's been a little weird with the schedule and putting the episodes out. He's doing better, but I've been doing a lot of traveling, and so yeah, I'm trying to get back on track. But yeah, that's it for part 1. Come back for part 2. And with that, you are my passion for life.